ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of A Little Late in Crypto. It's Friday night, the 4th of March, and the last couple of episodes, we have talked about wallets, gas, and how we're using them to perform tasks on the blockchain. But what if you've made a nice bit of profit in crypto and feel more like buying groceries, maybe a car, or even a house? Today, we'll talk about some ways to cash out your crypto or how you can use your crypto in your everyday life with ease with direct crypto payments. So the last episode, we learned a whole lot about crypto transfers, the gas prices that are involved with making transactions like this. And in countries like El Salvador, Bitcoin is now legal tender and being used to do transactions for everyday goods and services. That means that people will accept direct crypto payments from crypto wallet to crypto wallet. And there's a good chance that some retailers in your country also accept these. People around the world are showing support right now for crypto. During tonight's episode, we'll talk about the advantages of paying with crypto, as well as the disadvantages. We'll take a look at gas fees and how to optimize for them. And finally, we will examine some of the most recognizable crypto cards in the space. The Visa card from crypto.com, the Coinbase card, the Nexo card, and the Binance card. If you like learning about crypto and all the different ways to use it, be sure and subscribe to the Dpad YouTube and smash that bell so you get notified every time we have a new episode. That's every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. All right, well, let's get started on this Friday. How are you this evening? Okay, Chipmunk, you're cut off. Get your microphone working.
Why does that always happen?
I don't know. Yeah, it is.
Okay, I'm doing wonderful, thank you. How are you, Riri?
I'm all right. How are you, Trading Star?
I'm not really good at market.
Uh-oh. What? You sound depressed. What's happening?
Sorry?
I said you sound depressed. What's happening?
Nothing. Just a bit, feeling a little bit low.
That's terrible. Looks like we've slid back into fear. Are prices dropping again? Are we freaking out?
A little bit. I'm just looking at the chart right now, and well, we had a mega pump sort of thing going on. I mean, if Bitcoin is going up with 13% in one day, I think it's safe to assume that's called a mega pump. So I think it's yeah, we are now retracing.
So this is just a normal retracement from a nice big pump.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm not really that worried or anything, you know. But yeah, the fear and greed index is showing fear again, because lately there's not so much upwards movement. It's only been going down every time there's been lower lows. So now finally we will get the chance to maybe crawl up again. But of course you can never go up in a straight line, so there's always going to be retracement.
Right. I found that losing weight is the same. You never just lose weight. You go up and down, up and down. But as long as you're headed in the right general direction, it should be okay. And it's important to zoom out.
Yeah, correct.
Right. So tonight's subject is kind of fun. It's like using crypto in our everyday life. Like, I think that will have to dissipate some of the fear if everybody's using it all the time.
It's like one of my main investment strategies too. Like, you know, it's always like very nice if you buy some coin or token and it goes up in value and you can sell it again. But really what I'm looking at also is like, how am I going to use this product, you know? Good example that we will have later today in the show is the crypto.com card. They have a native cryptocurrency, and I'm like actually using this, you know? So there's actually something that I personally use it for. So that makes it a lot more, it's like when price dips, I don't really care because I'm using it, if you know what I mean, right?
Right. And so if there's an actual utility, then you are less emotionally attached to the price movements because you believe in the fundamentals so much so that you're using it. Well, you're using a tangible object. You can hold
Exactly.
that card in your hand. And I think psychologically that makes a huge impact.
Yeah, I think the crypto credit cards and debit cards, they're really exciting. So that's why we're going to talk through a few. However, first, I think it's best to go through the direct crypto payments.
Well, yeah,
It's
because
not really that.
we've got advantages and disadvantages for both.
Yeah, it's like it's not really that popular around the world yet. It's gaining a lot of momentum lately, especially like countries like El Salvador, like you mentioned. People are paying taxes with crypto. People are paying electricity bills with crypto, and
In
I
2000,
think
in 2018, I actually made a down payment for a medical procedure with crypto. Ethereum was near its all-time high for that time period, and I talked the clinic into taking crypto.
that's really nice. It helps for adoption too, you know.
Yeah.
It's like I can pay you, but I only have crypto, so you have to accept crypto. So that's maybe a good way for the people listening here to get that person you're trying to convince into crypto to get them
Well,
over the edge.
I have issues. Like I'm underbanked because there's a misspelling on my passport and it doesn't match my bank account in my home country. So like I have issues and I can't fix it without actually taking a trip home to fix it. So having direct crypto to crypto wallet payments for me is almost a must because I have cash and I have crypto and that's it until I get
Living
this
under the radar, are we?
a little bit. One small typo and then you don't visit your home country for a few years.
Yeah, it happens, you know.
And the country
There's
where I'm
more.
in is cash heavy, so like it's not a huge issue.
Yeah,
But
exactly. So there's.
moving money from country to country, crypto sure makes it the world smaller.
Yeah, that's true, and it's happening pretty fast. It depends on the crypto you are sending and the network you are using.
Well,
For
right.
example, like we're going to talk about some advantages and disadvantages, and well, we have already spoken the last time about the gas fees, right? We've done a deep dive into the gas fees. I've also explained a type of Ethereum transfer, and even an audience question that I remember was, doesn't this transaction fees that are pretty high make Ethereum completely useless
Yeah,
as
that
a
person was
currency?
upset.
Yes, so I remember that question pretty well, and yes, it's true. You know, I even remember that I gave the example yesterday. Like the average person is very happy to hand out a $5 note in a bar to get a drink, but people are not so eager to pay 0.001 Bitcoin, for example. And why not? It's like because people are sitting on it, waiting for the price to go up, right? So that's really make you think that these direct crypto payments, the people that are not underbanked, the people that enjoy the luxury of having a bank account, are they really do they really want this? I don't think so, to be honest. So that's, I think, one major disadvantage is because it's like, it helps the people who don't have a bank, but the people who have a bank, they don't really need this.
Well, they don't need it, and if other people get lifted up, they will feel slighted. That's a very real psychological thing that goes on around the world as well. Many people don't want the balance equalized because they get to take advantage of it. So people with privilege, they don't want these things, and we're at war against them. That's why it's called a revolution.
Yeah. And well, it brings us to one of the advantages too, is if you use a decentralized wallet, which means you don't need to send any identification documents like your ID card, driver's license, passport. We've all done it, you know, holding up our passport next to our face, trying to get KYC approved. I'm sure most people, they know what I'm talking about. Like if you use a decentralized wallet, you don't need to do that. So there's no way for the network to know who you are. So it can be really nice if you are, for example, in areas where banking services are limited, because let's say because you are having a certain political view, and that's making banks shut you down, for example. They can't shut you down if you use a decentralized wallet because they don't know this wallet belongs to you and they do not own the network. So I think that's a very, very big advantage. We are seeing it now widely being used during the war. I don't want to talk too much about war because I think that's a little bit of a dark subject to talk about. But we see now that there's a lot of things going on where there's both parties using crypto to their advantage. It's like Ukraine is being targeted, their financial structure is being targeted heavy during the war, but they cannot destroy crypto. It's like it will keep accepting donations and aid for the country in the form of crypto. Because the crypto network does not know who is who, or it doesn't care as well. So this is a huge...
People are being very clever with the decentralized nature of technology these days, and
Yes.
even outside of crypto. Today I read that people were booking Airbnbs in Ukraine and then not going. They're just booking them to give the money, and then the Airbnbs are actually housing refugees. So they're finding all kinds of ways to circumvent the system, and it's mostly through the more decentralized organizations, community-led.
People get really smart
because the people don't want war. There's
No.
never an advantage to war for the people. So
No, never.
blockchain gives power back to the people, and we're seeing it live now.
Yes, although I do need to admit something which concerns me personally. We know that there has been sanctions against Russia, economic sanctions, but however, the crypto networks, they are not biased. So that means that we cannot cut them off from, let's say, using Ethereum or Bitcoin.
Good, because we shouldn't be using the dollar as leverage anyway, and we shouldn't be using the economy as leverage anyway. We need to grow up and learn how to resolve conflicts without this nonsense.
Yeah, our best case scenario would be to not start them. That would be the ideal situation.
For sure.
Yeah.
And if everybody has access to crypto, maybe we could save the world.
Yeah, I think it's really nice to have a financial system that is not biased to anyone, because it's like a fair game. Like when people ask me, like, why am I so interested in this space? I always tell them, like, if I would invite you to play a game of Monopoly with me, but I would say that the predetermined rule is that I can have as much money as I want because I'm the bank. Would you play with me? Of course not, because it's not fair.
Yeah, it's
But
not fun.
why do you just assume everything is okay in normal life and just
Right.
accept that this is the way it is? And I just tell the people it doesn't have to be like that. And yeah, it's like an equal playing field for everybody, and that's
Yep.
something that I really enjoy.
Same here. So those are some of the advantages. Now, what about some of the disadvantages to paying with crypto? Like most people who own crypto, Bitcoin, for example, they don't spend it. So what do you do with it?
So yeah, it really depends on the currency that you're using. So we know that, for example, Bitcoin, the network of Bitcoin is very slow. So if I want to send a transaction, not only do I pay a pretty penny in a transaction fee, but it's also pretty slow. Luckily, there are constant developments in the code of Bitcoin that improve the speed and lower the transaction fee. So what I did now is that there's one transaction can be processed during X amount of time. But now with the Lightning Network, you might have heard about that. They can bundle many transactions into one transaction. So that means that you can all contribute towards paying that transaction fee. So it becomes a lot smaller and they can fit a lot more in one block. So all the transactions go faster.
Is that what Lightning Coin is at its core? It's crowdfunding for the transaction fees? That's hilarious.
Yeah, it's like a collection of transactions being put together into one and then being offered to the network, which makes it a lot faster. So it's really like, if there's disadvantages to using crypto, I think the beautiful thing is I always see Bitcoin, for example, as a living organism, you know? It's like constantly improving as new problems arise. It's constantly adapting to new situations. And if there's a new problem, it will be gradually fixed. And I think that's really beautiful. So I think eventually all the disadvantages people might have will disappear.
Right. So any other disadvantages to the crypto payments?
Well, not really. Well, I've spoke about a few. Like most people, because the prices.
The gas fees. So we always go back to the gas fee.
Yeah, but also like what I said about the example with the dollar in the bar. So it's like price fluctuates a lot. So if I'm having cash in my pocket, like let's say Bitcoin, for example, is the only thing I use. I decide to only use Bitcoin and I take my rent, I pay my rent with Bitcoin, and I also get my salary in Bitcoin. So now let's assume that I have a pile of Bitcoin in my account. And tomorrow that something happened in the world and the Bitcoin price dropped 50%, but I need to pay rent tomorrow. So now my rent has gone up 50% in a day. So that's really something that you should consider, because there's a lot of hype around, oh, I'm getting paid in Bitcoin now and I'm so excited. But I always tell the people, like, that's okay. Like if you earn a lot of money, if you're an athlete or whatever, that's okay, because you can do that because you have a lot of money. But I know, like in my country, for example, you can choose to get paid in Bitcoin if you work at the Domino's Pizza. And I have spoken to some people who have taken their salary in Bitcoin, and they say it's terrible. It's so unpredictable. They charge a conversion fee because the company is converting it to Bitcoin and sending it to you. And it's just so impractical. So that needs a lot of improvement. But like I said, in time, I think that disadvantage will disappear as well.
Well, yeah, like that is like growing pains. Like I remember 2018, I started taking my first crypto salary in 2017. It was not the whole salary, it was just a small portion of my salary. which with the volatility ended up being the bulk of my salary for some of those months. And then July came and I learned what wrecked meant. And it was I had a bill due. I had a bill due on a Wednesday, and on Tuesday we had a market crash. My portfolio went down 33%, and I wanted to just the sinking feeling of going, I have to finance this bill because the money that I was going to pay for it just disappeared. Devastating. It took me 2 years to recover from that wreckage. 2 years to recover
That's
from that
really
wreckage.
good.
However, those types of lessons that are that painful really stick to you, and they are what create diamond hands later on.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because now
Do you?
you know what to do. You know when not to sell. You know when to hold.
Exactly.
It's much better. So I'm glad I learned it early. I was a little late to crypto too, but the earlier you learn, the better.
Let me tell some part of that. I mean, the part about the regulations side, probably from security sides, maybe the irreversibility part of crypto transactions in general. So these comes as, I mean, not severe threats, but in general, these are coming as disadvantages side of accepting crypto as a payment, mainly. So one need to definitely understand that irreversibility part of the crypto in case of any mismanagement could lead them to maybe loss of the money. So you can't be refunded. You can't be, I mean, in case of even if you are stopping, you will need to understand those things. So the irreversibility part may not be contributing to the large extent when you deal with very less places for the crypto. I mean, in terms of cryptocurrency transactions. But if you deal regularly, then you need to be really careful in order to, I mean, send transactions. You need to be very careful that you are putting the right address, and sometimes you need to put memo, and also sometimes you need to take care of whether this is like the real address which it should receive, or is it like address which where I should send this fund, or is it BTC address, or is it Ethereum address. So there are so many things.
The
Whether I can send
memo.
so many, yeah,
See,
whether
you
it's a
just gave me
decentralized
some.
wallet or whether it's centralized wallet, because some
Yep.
if someone has given you centralized wallet, in that case, some currencies cannot be supported. So you need to be really careful. I mean, if you're
Yeah.
dealing with just Bitcoin and Ethereum, then it's fine because these are largely available across all exchanges. But in case of smaller currencies, you might be painful. I mean, you might get in pain where
I
you feel like, oh, I given the wrong address and I'm done.
I lost 10 BNB to not having a memo from one centralized exchange to another. They could have gotten it back, but the fee that it cost to get it back was more than the BNB was worth at the time. However, now looking back, I wish I would have done it.
The major part comes around security. Then again, security is a good thing, but you need to be really, I mean, storing your crypto is also a not very easy task if you are not in fully into crypto. So
Yep.
regardless of that, it is very secure and you would feel like, yeah, you can use it anytime. We talked about like we are the bank. So yes, we are, these statements are true, but again, it comes at the risk of, I mean, getting lost in some cases. Then in case your wallet, your keys got lost, you lose all your funds. In case of banks, you might be banned for maybe 2 months, I mean 2 days or 2 hours or few hours. But in case of cryptocurrency, once you are gone, you are done. I mean, you can be broke with a single mistake. So one need to be really careful here.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Now, consider that, I mean, in some cases, you need to really consider about the transaction fees. In right now, the BTC transaction fees are a bit very less, but earlier it used to be, uh, I mean, tens of dollars, and right now the Ethereum fees are so much high. So you, I mean, these are heavily used in general across when you used to trade earlier, when you used to transfer from one exchange to another. We usually used to do in these heavy, uh, less volatile, you can say. And right now we do usually in USDT and USD, but earlier the Dodge was used to transfer between one exchange to another exchange. Similarly, the Ripple was being used as currency to exchange because the transaction fees were much lower, 0.25. I think Ripple was there the price, and around similar $1 around it was the price. So it was 25 cents, but for BTC and Ethereum, you need to pay around $20 or something. So the way we have been developed, so it's fine. But initially, I mean, anyone who will accept will usually take BTC or Ethereum as a payment mode. In that case, one need to be really worried about the fee side, and especially for the businesses, uh, it comes as I mean, the transaction fees are still high. Again,
Right.
there comes tax implications, so that could be painful. I mean, if you are using cryptocurrency largely, then uh, I mean, it's untracked, and it's, as of now, it could be really difficult in order to I mean, for government side, in order to understand every bit of it and actually track all your transactions. You might have lost, actually you might not have lost actually, and you have sold it as a lost asset, but it's fine. I mean, you can be uh, fall in such cases where you need to be present in such of, I mean, different revenue officers or something from income tax department or something. I mean, in different jurisdiction of in different countries, there will be different authority who will be handling such kind of regulations. But these tax implications also, uh, with more regularization, with more countries accepting or some kind of regulating it, will started taxing it, will start looking for it, will try finding the ways how to tax them. In that case, even if you are using it, you will not be able to show it properly. I mean, not everything is ready as of now in order to showcase all the crypto transaction and how much you have spent, how much you have. So it will come at like you were trying to save tax. In order to save tax, you will find somewhere guilty. I mean, in government law, they don't understand that how much you have put in effort in order to earn that, but they want to charge. And if you are thinking from a, I mean, civilized, uh, I mean, resident, you will feel like, no, I'm obliged to pay taxes, and in that case, I'm unable to uh, determine how much tax I should pay, how much percentage I should pay, from where I should get the exact tax receipt, how much I should pay, how much I should not, how to get everything done. I mean, these kind of regulation has yet to come in crypto space, especially. And I think, yeah, the volatility part is fine. I mean, this is the fun we usually uh, play whenever you are in market. So it's fun, but yeah, it's too volatile for anyone who doesn't want to play with crypto and want to see it as valuation. If it goes up, they will never complain you. I mean, never ever that, no, I got $1,000 of Bitcoin and it went to $1,500. They will never cry. They will never ever cry. But
Unless they
when it
can't
goes
find their
down,
keys.
yeah, in that case,
Stupid crypto.
but whenever it goes down to say $900 from $1,000, they will say, no, I should have taken out, I should have taken payment in cash or
Oh,
maybe some kind of, yeah, bank accounts. I
yeah.
don't wanted that. I was like making be fooled by some company or maybe my fellow members somehow convinced me in order to get payments in. But I was like wise man. I was never thinking of investing in such uh, volatile assets. At least at this point of time, I don't want to play with my salary. I can get broke. I may feel difficult in paying rents. As in the case of Mert, he said like suppose BTC, I think he was giving example where BTC fall 50%. Now, in order to get back to the same prices, BTC has to double it. So it has to gain 100% from there. So exactly you lost. I mean, in order, if you have to wait, you will have to wait a longer. I mean, if you want to recover to that amount, you will now, if you are putting some effort, you need to double it. You need to put efforts to make it 100% more. So
Right.
that is the case. If you are losing money, I mean, in case of gains, no one will complain. No one will come, oh, why? Uh, it's fine. I mean, I was smart. I was a smart investor. I was knowing that Bitcoin is the future. It will go up. It will touch millions dollars. So I was accepting in BTC. So yeah, you know, dude, I am also accepting my payments, my salary in BTC, and it's like higher salary, higher money, and I'm spending higher. I also use rich cards, and sometimes, I mean, if you are getting some discounts over BTC spendings, we usually have such apps. I mean, in few places you will find such apps. In that case, you will say, I do everything in crypto. I'm in future. So
Right. And
it
so,
will be
well,
fun.
and I guess the crypto payments or the indirect crypto payments or crypto cards will kind of act like a bridge to get people there and to kind of guard against the volatility that's happening. Because then consumers that are using the crypto cards, they're not as the wild market volatility always, right?
So I was I think using some kind of services where if you wanted to accept any payments in crypto, you could be, I mean, at the same time, it will be converted into USD value so that
Uh-huh.
you never lose on in dollar value. In that case, you will never enjoy the percentage gain in maybe BTC or any other currency you were accepting. But such services are available. I think there will be slight charges, but it will be fair. So definitely, if you want to just avoid the banking system, then that is the way. If you don't want volatility, then accept in, I mean, they were accepting BTC, but largely they use any service provider which converts it into USD and they get USD value equivalently. So there are many such services available. So no issues. I mean, I think the Namecheap also accepts BTC, the website where you can just purchase your domains. So that also does the same thing. They also accept some kind of payment service provider. I forgot the name, but we can definitely see that.
Right. Okay. So we've got a few different crypto cards that we wanted to take a look at. Crypto.com has a Visa card, and the Crypto.com Visa card, it's a Visa debit that you can access through the Crypto.com app on your phone. It works like a prepaid card and needs to be topped up with fiat currency. And if you choose to top up the card with crypto, the crypto will be sold at the time of the top up for whatever the market price is at that time. So you will actually not spend crypto 100% directly. So there's also a different tiers of the cards available, and they give you like different types of benefits. And all the crypto.com cards, they're metal, which that looks pretty cool. But it gives you a tangible a tangible something to have in your hand, which I think makes people feel a little bit easier about using it. Do you have any experience with the crypto.com card, Trading Star? I know Merrick does, and I actually used his card when I went to visit him once. But
No,
have
but I
you?
have Ruby Steel card. I mean, I have access to my Ruby Steel card, but it's like not accepted in my country. But I have a virtual version. I mean, I can use it whenever. I mean, in future. But right now, it's not accepted in my jurisdiction. I mean, my country. But yeah, I have a stake. I think in 2020. Yeah. So
Okay.
at that time, I think it's almost 8 to 9 times CRO prices around from that prices. So I think it's It was very easy. At that time, it was near maybe $80. Right now, maybe $1,000. Sorry, $500 or something. It went up to $800. But yeah, still. So you can see that right now they have changed it, I think, guys.
If you scroll
No,
a
I
little
don't
bit
see
more
it.
down, you can see a good overview of the different cards. Yeah. So here, here's a quick overview. So as Riri mentioned, I have this card, so I'm trying to be as non-biased as possible, because I'm in no way affiliated with this company or whatever. I'm just using it, so let that be very clear here. So basically, all you need to do to get one of these cards is you make a stake of a certain dollar value. So you have to buy their native cryptocurrency, which is CRO. And if you want, for example, the red card, you can see there that it requires you to purchase 400 USD worth of their native CRO token. And this amount of tokens you need to freeze for 180 days. And then they will give you the card. So what you can do then is not only do you get these rewards that you can see here, most cards, they have pretty awesome rewards. So we will go look at a few today. But also they allow you to cash out your crypto, which is what we are talking about here. Now, Riri already mentioned that this is not really direct crypto payments. So if you use their application, you need to put money on the card. So if you want to put, let's say, $100 on your card, but you don't have $100, you just have Bitcoin, then I would have to sell my Bitcoin first and then put the $100 in my account. So I'm not spending my Bitcoin directly. So if you're looking for that, this is not the right card for you.
Thanks for describing that difference. And then,
Yeah.
but crypto.com, that's not the only option for cards, right? Like we have,
there's a lot. There's really a lot of cards. Maybe
and
we
so
can talk about the
Coinbase. Coinbase, yeah, has a card too. Let's see. So the Coinbase card, it lets you spend your crypto balance in your Coinbase centralized hot wallet.
Yeah. So centralized hot wallet, we spoke about that 2 episodes ago, right, guys? If you missed that, be sure to check out the channel and go to the episode of last Monday, because we talked about centralized hot wallets. So basically what a centralized hot wallet is, in short, is when you purchase crypto on Coinbase, the crypto will be available in your Coinbase account online. So that basically means that the company Coinbase is holding your crypto on your behalf. So they now released a crypto debit card as well. So it's debit, so you're not making credit, because you need to have funds in your account in order to use it. However, what this is doing, different from crypto.com, is if you have crypto in your account, you can spend your crypto directly. So when you tap your card at the grocery store, accepting Visa, it will then sell your crypto at that time. So it will sell it directly at that time. You don't need to do it beforehand, and it will pay your grocer at the current market price. So that's really a big difference. You don't need to do anything beforehand, and you don't need to top up dollars. You can just leave crypto in your account and spend as you go. Now, the downside to this being the thing that I just described earlier was, if crypto suddenly makes a huge drop and you're not paying attention, because we all know how fast it can go. So imagine you're out all day and all of a sudden some bad news happened and crypto maybe 10% drop, and you tap your card at the gas station, and now all of a sudden you pay 10% more. So that's really a big risk with these kind of cards, and that's why I'm personally not using this one. But if you are looking for a way to direct spend crypto, then this is your card, I would say.
This is so clearly American. They're like, oh, here, let's get access to your crypto exchange. That savings that you were trying to get. Yeah, let's give you accessibility to spend that while you're out drunk. Wow. Good job, guys. All right, Coinbase, you're fired. Go home.
It gets even more fancy for Americans with our next card.
Nexo. Americans can't use Nexo. Can they?
They can actually. They can.
Oh, can they?
Yeah, they can.
Okay.
So let's pull that one up. And
I've got it. I'm just not sharing. Hold on a
and
second.
then we'll talk about it.
Oh, look
so
at
this
that.
one is very different. This one is actually a credit card, and it's pretty complex. So hear me out here.
If you say it's complex, I'm scared.
So basically, how Nexo works is if I have $100 of Bitcoin, but I don't want to sell my $100 of Bitcoin because, for example, the people from America that are listening to our show right now, they all know if I sell my Bitcoin to US dollars, that creates a taxable event, right? So now all of a sudden, if I want to use my crypto.com card and I want to spend Bitcoin, I want to sell Bitcoin to top up my card, that's a taxable event. If I am using my Coinbase card and I spend Bitcoin in the grocery store, that's also a taxable event. So Nexo is now looking at a way to fix that. So what they are offering is instant crypto loans. So if you have, let's say, $100 of Bitcoin, they allow you to put that $100 of Bitcoin up as collateral to borrow, let's say, $60. And you can then borrow this $60 in dollars and you can withdraw it to your bank account or whatever you want. Or you can get this card and you can just tap your card in the store where you want to purchase something, and then it will take out a loan automatically off your balance. And since taking out a loan with your crypto as collateral is not a taxable event, you just need to pay back your loan whenever it suits you, and then you don't have to pay taxes. I think it's pretty smart.
That's a good one. So that one's
Yeah.
completely different from the other options.
Yeah, this is an actual credit card
So we've
where
had
you
two
just
debit-
borrow money.
Right. So we've had 2 debit cards so far, and now we've had a credit card, and now we've got one more that we wanted to take a look at, the Binance card.
Yes, the Binance card.
Yes, the Binance card. Binance has everything. One of each. All right. Share. Buy the things you love with crypto.
Yeah. Yeah, the Binance card is basically the same as the Coinbase card, to where it directly spends your crypto from your account. The only difference is that it's much like crypto.com's card, where you have different reward levels. So you can get a higher tier. However, the difference from crypto.com being there is only one card. So this card you see here, that's the only one you'll ever get. But your BNB balance on your account determines what reward level you have. So if you go level up, you don't get a different color card. You don't get a more interesting color or whatever. You just keep the same card, but your new benefits are loaded on there straight away as your BNB balance becomes a little bit higher. If you can hit the more information, please. Yeah, so here you see that there is up to 8% cashback on your purchases. So that's a lot of cashback, but it's also probably very expensive. You need to hold a lot of BNB in order to get that 8%. So don't get your hopes up high. So that's really that's really the biggest difference from the Binance card with Crypto.com, and that is also short describing some similarities between the Coinbase card and the Binance card. So as you can see, they're a little bit similar, all the cards, but yet every card works a little bit differently. So for everybody, there is a card that suits them the best. So I would definitely recommend you guys to look into these cards more. Like after this podcast, go to these websites by yourself. If you didn't get it so fast, you can always listen to the recording of this episode. It will be live after we close it down. So check out which is the best fit for you. I would definitely recommend that, because I'm using a Crypto.com card, but maybe that's not suited for you at all. So keep that in mind. Now, I saw something pop up in my screen that Trading Star actually shared with us another card.
Nice. Let me open that up too now.
And this card I actually don't know, so I'm very interested in this one.
FTX, that is they're pretty big now. They absorbed Blockfolio last year, I think.
Yeah, they went really fast, huh?
Yeah, they sure did. Okay. FTX card. Spend your FTX crypto balance at millions of merchants worldwide with 0 fees.
Trading Star, can you tell us a little bit about this card that you showed us?
Yeah, it is similar as like if you have like balance in FTX, you can just simply use it, and it can be. I mean, if you just lower it a bit down, so there will be no fees. You can spend your crypto anywhere, anytime, and security is again FTX is also secured. So you need to don't worry about storing your keys and everything.
Right. So this
it's
just
as
works
simple as
anywhere
that.
Visa works. Nice.
So they are not maybe charging the transactions fees as of now as a promotional offer maybe, but in future they may charge. But right now they have not any, crypto cashback or something which comes as added advantage with other cards like CRO and Binance card. At least we have seen. I think Coinbase even offers 2%, I think. But here they don't offer similar. I don't want to promote it. I don't want to promote another card, but yeah, I know Hyperpay or something is offering a card which is kind of accepted at multiple places. They are showing at everywhere, almost Visa, Mastercard, American Express, PayPal, and everything. But yeah, I, I, it has to be. The acceptability part is much higher in Hyperpay. You can go and withdraw from ATM, so that is great. We still have
that's
to
a nice
reach that level
advantage.
as of now.
That's a nice
Yeah,
advantage
that's
of being
also
able to go
possible
to
with the Binance one and the Coinbase one and the Crypto.com also, but there's really, if you have to top up your balance first and going to the ATM after, there's really no point. So yeah, that's also, I forgot to mention that on the other cards.
right. Okay, so ATM access for the debit cards is what it sounds like. But
With crypto accessibility, so there will be a lot. They have to still uh, adapt. They are into the ecosystem, and at least they have many currencies. They have good valuation, but at least I am waiting for their presence over across. Maybe they will be listing soon in Nasdaq or something, and that that will be the point where they will be like infusing a lot, and they will be like popular, way more popular than right now. So let's see. Till that time, I am not suggesting anyone. So FTX is fine, Binance, everything, which is popular as of now, as well as which is kind of, yeah, from safety standard point, you should be safe. And anyway, we are using it. Similarly, I think many cards will be available in local jurisdictions. Maybe maybe in my country, at least I've seen few cards where you just spend your assets and get back m- some sats, I mean BTC sats. So you get cashback in BTC form. So you start accepting crypto as rewards. So in a way, you are storing, you are earning some crypto. But later they also introduced some card where you can actually use your card, I mean your BTC balance as well, as you can top up it and may use at different stores, so different merchants. So some way they are making it. Similarly, I think many apps, I think there will be so many, and there will be so many in local areas where they are trying to, or they are at some stage where they are trying to integrate with merchants, where they are trying to partnership with merchants in order to accept crypto and accept their cards, and they will just do the backside of it, converting from local fiat to crypto and sold it back. So that will be interesting part to see how, where, and which such a startup, such cards come up, pops up and get popularized, getting accepted. But in my country, like I have seen one which is right now accepted. I think they have been incubated by one of the popular startup ecosystem. I mean, they are very more popular, but I don't want to name as of now. But yeah, one need to just Google it. But anyway, I think we should be starting with questions of audience so that we can finish today's
They,
episode.
it's like the audience is asking questions for the wrong episode. I have a whole bunch of questions about ledger wallets. That's about it.
About
How do
what?
I
Sorry?
I have a whole bunch of questions about ledger wallets. Got about 10 of them.
Ledger wallets.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they thought we were doing the hot wallet question episode. I'm not sure what happened here. What would happen if my ledger got damaged? Completely off track. No,
Well,
but
I guess
hey, what happens
so.
if my ledger got damaged? We're talking about spending crypto. I can't spend it if it's damaged, or I can. Yeah, that's why you need to keep your private keys, folks. You keep your private
Yeah.
keys, and you can port that crypto to a working wallet, even if your ledger gets damaged.
So if you have your seed phrase, your 24-word phrase, I think 12 or 24 words, then what happens if you write that down on a piece of paper, or if you push it into a titanium plate, wherever you want to keep it, doesn't matter. If my ledger gets absolutely destroyed to the point where there's nothing left of my ledger, then I can just purchase a new one. And then it says, what do you want to do? Do you want to import an existing wallet, or do you want to create a new one? So then you just select import an existing one. You enter your seed phrase, and there's your account restored.
Does the cold storage take the place of the wallet, or is it just an additional means of protection?
Sorry, one more time.
Does the cold storage take the place of the wallet, or is it just an additional means of protection?
No, it's just an interface, really. It's just a way to interact with your
I thought
coins.
cold storage meant it was offline.
Yeah, cold storage, they are holding the private keys on the device itself. So the private key is only saved on the device itself. However, can you tell me the question one more time?
No, because it doesn't make any sense. So we're going to skip it. I don't understand it. And I've asked it to you twice and it makes no sense. If we can't figure it out between 3 times, it doesn't make sense.
Okay.
Do you have to purchase a certain amount of cryptocurrency to be able to claim the $10? I have no idea what you're talking about. Do those ledgers work with all coins? You need that. Do those ledgers work with all coins? I think what's happening is that we've got some shillers from Ledger who have come to watch the show. And we would like to say thank you for coming to watch the show, Ledger Shillers. But please go back to your leader and have them talk to us, and we'll have you on the show to actually talk about it instead of having you bomb ledger questions on an unrelated topic. Not cool, guys.
Yeah.
But to answer that part, yes, the majority of, if you are having Ledger and you are usually create ERC20 wallet, in that case, all ERC20 assets are kind of accepted there. So if you are, the new blockchains only, you need to figure out whether it's supported on, Ledger or not. But for major popular ones are already accepted and supported by Ledger. So you don't need to worry about all majority of altcoins, because they will be either on right now. To just talk about, either they will be on majorly they will be on Ethereum, and now they have started coming on BSC, now Matic chain, but all these are kind of based on ERC. So no need to worry about it. So majority of, if you are just talking about right now 17,999 assets are available listed on CoinMarketCap, but majority of them will be on Ethereum, BNB, maybe a few more chains, but they all will be supported by Ledger. So no need to worry about.
I got a question from the audience, and he's being very adamant. We got all capital letters here. How do you track your profits? This seems like such a basic functionality, but on Coinbase, I am finding it very difficult to know how much percentage I've made and lost. Can you recommend a way to do this?
You know how much funds you have kind of invested, and now just look at the capital and just do the maths.
Well, I would say a portfolio tracker, and we have a whole episode on portfolio tracking that you might want to check out.
Especially for Coinbase, you can do it. If you have so many currencies, then you just go for to Coinbase. You can go on CoinGateway. If you have so many currencies, then you just go for to
Coinbase have a
you can
Coinbase
go
has a built-in portfolio too now, don't they?
Then you just go. I think so. They will have.
Doesn't Coinbase have a Coinbase has a built-in portfolio? I don't either, but I've seen I'm sure I've seen the Coinbase portfolio. In fact, I think we talked about it even on our portfolio episode. But that's one of the best ways is to track your profits or your losses is in a portfolio tracker instead of just looking at your wallet, because otherwise it does get difficult. All right, everybody. That's another episode of A Little Late in Crypto. We talked a lot about different ways to spend your crypto on today's episode, wrapping up a week of insane gas prices. It's Friday night. We will be back again on Monday with more things to learn. And if you'd like to be notified, please smash that bell so that you get a notification after you have subscribed to the channel, guys. This is your host, Riri, signing off. Thank you.